Hello and welcome to the Educator's Edge. I am Lisa Ellum and I am your guide, your mentor, your coach, your teacher. All right, so today I want to talk about the adult learner's hero's journey. When I was doing my research, I was looking at the various stories of adult learners, and I've recreated that into the adult learner's hero's story. Um, if you have ever heard of the hero's journey, have you ever heard of the hero's journey? It was first introduced by a really clever guy called Joseph Campbell. He was an American academic who whose passion was myth and literature. And he studied the stories that link different mythology together. And what he found was that there was a structure to the way that these stories were told. And often they included the hero. So I've looked quite deeply into Joseph Campbell's work, and I based when I had done my research, and as a way to present my research, I presented it as the adult learner's hero journey. Because I think any adult who goes into learning, who accepts the challenge to learn, um, becomes a hero because they face, the ups and downs and many challenges in order to achieve the goal. So picture this, yes, you're the adult learner stepping into the unknown, filled with doubts, yet pulled forward on the promise of something more. Can you relate to this? Yeah. This journey, let's call it the adult learner's hero's journey, is a path of transformation, much like Dorothy's adventure in The Wizard of Oz. Now, there have been some clever filmmakers who have used the same structure in their film, think Star Wars, think The Wizard of Oz. So in my research, I looked at what adult learners need, and I found that adult learners don't just need the content. But they need the courage, they need the community, they need to understand themselves. And what better way to explore the journey than through a story we all know, The Wizard of Oz. So let's talk about The Wizard of Oz. So the first thing is that there is a calling. There is a call to learn. Let's call this the Kansas moment. So, like Dorothy, many adult learners start their metaphorical Kansas in, in a familiar environment. It's a place of routine, of obligation, and sometimes of dissatisfaction. Something that is quite right, but the idea of change feels a little bit overwhelming. So for some, a tornado comes. So that might be the loss of a job, the loss of a relationship, the realization that they want something more out of life, and that they need to build their current skills and knowledge, and that where they are in life no longer serves their current dreams, their current aspirations. So the storms hit and they find themselves in this unfamiliar environment. The learning journey has begun. So, as we know, most journeys have crossroads, or thresholds to cross. And, you've got to get on the yellow brick road. And once you're on the yellow brick road, and then there might be obstacles that come up along the way. But stepping into learning, stepping onto the yellow brick road can be quite daunting in itself. You're faced with new terminology, unfamiliar technology, new environments. Self-doubt complicates the process. It's quite a lot. Dorothy too felt a little bit lost in the land of Oz, but then she meets Glinda, who gives her first lesson. And her first lesson, do you remember? Her first lesson was that she had the power all along. This is where the educators and mentors step in, coaches, teachers, lecturers. Like Glenda, we don't give adult learners the answers. We guide them to recognize their own potential in their learning. We teach them how to learn. We teach them how to discover knowledge. We teach them how to think a little bit differently. The ruby slippers are theirs to wear, but they must take the steps themselves. Yeah. There are trials and different people along the way. Finding the scarecrow, the tin man, the lion, all within. So no hero travels alone. Dorothy finds companionship and companions who reflect back to her a little bit of what she needs to know, the very qualities that she needs to develop. The scarecrow in intelligence, the heart of the tin man, and the courage of the lion. For adult learners, these lessons, these companions really bring about a process that helps them face some challenges. And the challenges in learning are renowned. It's not an easy process because we are going through change. And we need our community to help us get through these challenges and to support us through these challenges, helping the learner to use their new skills, to learn their new skills, to have more confidence, to develop our emotional intelligence and our emotional resilience. The learning process isn't just about acquiring knowledge, but it's about growing into the person who we can be. All right. So we go, on this yellow brick road, and we've met our friends, the scarecrow, the tin man, and the lion. And we're merrily along, skipping along, the yellow brick road, singing our songs and enjoying the lovely light. And then we step into the dark forest and face the wicked witch of doubt. Now, every learner encounters obstacles. These can be real and they can be imagined. Have you ever heard of imposter syndrome? And we talked about imposter syndrome on the last week's podcast. But imposter syndrome affects adult learners too. And it was something that I found a little bit surprising, and I don't know why in my research, but almost every learner I interviewed, every adult learner, and that was across higher education, vocational education, and workplace learning, they had doubts and they had insecurities about their capacity to learn. And these doubts and insecurities, some of them internal, some of them external, really can derail an adult learner on their journey. But here's the truth. Here's the truth. The witch can only stop Dorothy. They can only stop Dorothy if Dorothy gives up. So if the adult learner can continue in their learning journey, then they will be unstoppable. The same goes for learning. Yeah. When the adult learners push through and they realize that they are more capable than they thought they are. They might also realize that they're not doing the course that's right for them. They might be doing a program that's better for their family or their parents or whatever. But when they find the program that aligns with the person that they are and the real dream that they have, then the chances of success in that program are huge. Success is another thing that I find interesting to talk about, because what is success? I've known adult learners who have left the course, and, you know, they've spent a great deal of time studying and working and whatever, not to get that certificate at the end. Now, if that can be processed and they recognize that that wasn't the right path for them to be on, then to me that's success, because they've saved time and they've saved money by not completing the course, and they've figured out what it is they really want to do. Yeah. They have this moment of realization, and that's whether they're on the right path or whether they're not on the right path. What do we call this? We'll call this the wizard's lessons. So after reaching Oz, Dorothy discovers that the wizard isn't the key to her transformation. She like other adult learners, might recognize that this program is not the key to her transformation. That lecturer or that teacher or that tutor or that coach is not the secret to their success. She might discover, like Dorothy did, that she always had what she needed. Yeah. The scarecrow, the tin man, the lion also realized that they possessed the intelligence, the love, and the courage all along. This is the final breakthrough for the adult learner hero. Mastery isn't about the certificate or the external authority granting approval. It's about recognizing one's own competence and stepping into this new persona, this new identity. So what do you do with this new identity, this new persona? The thing is that we return home. We go back. We go back with the elixir, with the lessons that we've learned, and we integrate these lessons into life. The journey doesn't end with learning, it continues in the application. Dorothy returns to Kansas, seeing her world from fresh eyes, seeing that she can make a difference. Dorothy returns and is able to make a difference in the world, in her community, because of her knowledge and her skills. Likewise, adult learners return to their workplaces, their communities, and their lives with new insights, with new skills, with new confidence. And just like Dorothy, they realize the power of change. And the power of change comes from within them, and they've had it all along. So why does this matter to educators? Understanding the adult learner's hero's journey shifts how we teach. Yeah. Understanding that adult learners have a hero's journey means that we're not just teaching content. We are teaching learners how to learn. We are empowering them and supporting them on their journey. We are recognizing that struggle is part of the learning process, and that growth happens when we're in that dark forest. We're creating a learning environment where learners can discover that their scarecrow, their tin man, and their lion are all part of the community. And the community and the connection with other learners, as well as with the learning leader, is essential. So I believe that every adult learner has their own yellow brick road, and as educators, we have the privilege of walking alongside them. So, as an educator, how can we support them? What role do you play in the learning journey? I would really be keen to understand how this works for you. And yeah, I hope that helps. I am sending you so much love. And yeah, don't do it on your own.